This video was sponsored by HatDbuilder.com, creators of the super successful Wandering Tavern and Sky Zephyr Kickstarters. Go on an adventure inspired by the works of Studio Ghibli, unravel the mysteries of the Wandering Tavern, or sail off into a skybound adventure on your very own airship. Meet incredible characters, marvel at the multiple battle maps to explore, and enjoy a system that makes air-to-air combat fun. Use the link in the description to get 10% off. Thanks again to HatDbuilder.com for sponsoring this video. The blood. All I can remember is the blood. Sometimes I get flashes of other things. An unknown trail in some god's forsaken woods or field. The flash of claw and fang. The feeling of warm flesh in my mouth. The slick feeling of blood on my claws. I hear a scream sometimes. Those are the worst nights. But no matter what fuzzy details I can recall, blood is the one thing that stays in my mind, ever since that night when that beast found me. It was a full moon that night, plenty of light. The lads and I thought it would be good to do some boar hunting, get some extra meat and hide in before winter fully set in next month. We all heard the tales, of course. There were beasts out there, monsters that only showed their true faces under the light of a full moon. Every village has a story like that. Something to keep the little ones from wandering off. Wish I'd listened to my own mum better when she told those stories. Adrian and Velen were the first to go. That thing came at us blindingly fast. For a moment I thought they were being torn into by a murderous shadow. I stabbed it with my spear, but it didn't do nothing. It pulled the blade out like a toothpick and the wound closed, like some invisible hand sewing it up and keeping all the blood in. I was so scared, I felt an itch in the back of my mind, a voice screaming at every muscle in my body to run, but I couldn't move an inch. The beast bit down hard on Velen's neck, the blood spewing everywhere. There was a crunch and a wet gurgling sound as he stopped moving. The beast had turned round on me, and I'd backed up into a tree. Realizing I'd been cornered, I sank down to the mud. The beast got closer. He looked like a wolf, but I've been a hunter all my life, and I knew even back then that wasn't a damned wolf. It was way too big, damn near the size of a bear. It had thick, shaggy black fur, fangs longer than my hunting knife, but the eyes... that's what really gave it away. Those eyes burned with a kind of rage you see in men who have got murder on their mind. And behind that murderous intent, it looked at me, not like the animals would look at you, but like it recognized me. Like it knew me. It lunged at me. I took out my hunting knife and threw up my arms. It got its teeth into my left arm good, but then I returned with a blow from my knife. Sank it all the way into the pommel I did. The knife was a gift from me mum. Had it coated with silver for my birthday. That seemed to hurt the monster wolf. It cried out like a kicked puppy, and I managed to scramble away. Ran for my life all the way back to the cabin in the village. Everything went fuzzy and I passed out. Would have bled out there if the rest of the village hadn't helped me. The next few days were a blur. Burying Adrian and Velen, or what was left of them. Bloody ruthless, that wolf. It tore them to pieces. It didn't even bother to eat them like a proper wolf would, just shredded them. I grew my beard out for them. It was shaggier than usual. My nails were getting awfully long too, no matter how much I cut them. Trim them down to the flesh I did, but the next morning they were as long as the day before. The days started to turn into months. The blood never left my nightmares. It only kept getting worse. For 3 days out of each month, strange things kept happening. Hunters like myself would find animals torn to shreds and half-eaten. Soon after, folk would go missing. Sometimes they would turn up later, dead, of course, with huge claw and teeth marks out their bodies, assuming we found a full body. The rest just vanished. Never heard from again. First it was my childhood sweetheart, then old Bill from the hilltop who always shouts at me, then Gruffy the gnome who charges way too much for his shoddy arrows. Every time someone would talk about someone going missing or ending up dead, I'd be out of town. I'd get strange fevers and fits and always left so I don't spread the sickness. So I decided I'd just hoof it out into the forest, holed up in a tent for a bit. The cool, fresh air out there does wonders for a fever. Lots of plants help with the stomach fits and the like. Must have been bad fits each time, cause I went out there to camp and I'd always wake up away from my tent, or with my tent in tatters. And what's more, every day before the murders and disappearances would start again, I'd feel that itch in the back of my head again. Have you ever felt the like? Like an itch inside your skull that you can't get at? I always felt it whenever I was really deep in the forest, or explored misty moors under pale moonlight. With no walls or houses or any civilization around, that's when it was the strongest. Stuff like that practically became a hazy dream as the itch grew. I had no idea what it was, and the town's healing woman couldn't help, and there's no way I could afford a big-time cleric or apothecary in the city nearby. But the dreams started to get more frequent. The blood too, both in and out of my dreams. Sometimes when I'd wake up outside my tent, there'd be blood, dry and caked over my hands, my knees, my feet, and especially around my own mouth. I never thought too long on where that blood came from. Something told me I didn't want to know. That's when I started to remember me mum's stories. Stories of cursed men who turned into terrible, monstrous beasts under the light of a full moon. Was I one of them? I thought I was going crazy for months until I finally learned the truth of myself, of that itch. It's something all men have. It's a call, an attraction, a pull, hungrily gnawing at you like a dog with a bone. Your heart begins to beat faster, your adrenaline floods your body, making your muscles tense, wound like the string of a crossbow, desperate to unleash the built-up power. You look around, hoping there's nothing and no one around you to witness. Then you change. Your breath becomes shorter, faster, building towards something. Then all at once it's unleashed. The crossbow fired. You run, you jump, you climb and claw and howl. Thorns tear at your skin and pierce your feet, but you keep going. You barely even feel it. It is late into the night now, but you feel more awake, more aware, more alive than you've ever felt before. Most folk don't really change. They're just acting how nature intended for a time, all wild and free and the like, at least till it was time to come back inside and be people again. Now me, I felt that wild way all the time, and to be honest, I was starting to like it. When I walk by someone on the road, when I see a young couple sneaking away into the woods to, pick berries, that's when the itch came up. My heart would start beating faster and I'd find myself following them. Watching, waiting. I'd come out at night and scratch that itch. I'd feel satisfied and a few more graves were dug. That itch, yeah? That call I've been going on and on about? It was just me coming to terms with what I am. One of those beasts in the moonlight. I'm a werewolf. And being a werewolf made me realize something. I like killing. I mean, I did become a hunter, and hunting's about killing things at the end of the day. But that ain't all it's about. Oh no. It's also about the chase. I lean over a young couple, travelers visiting town from the big fancy city, each of them tied up and gagged, their faces lit by the campfire. It's about the chase, you hear me? The sport, the hunt. And there's no sport in just tearing you lot limb from limb when you're bound like dead deer. So we're all gonna play a little game. I'm gonna cut you loose, and if you make it out of my forest alive, you win. Survive till dawn, and you win. Kill me, if you can, and you win. But if I catch you, you lose. And I get to do what I really, really like to do. I'll even give you a head start. I'll give you to the count of 3. I cut them free of the rope. They scrambled to their feet, looking between me and the woods, unsure if I'll just knife them in the back when they're not looking. I smile, stretch my hands out wide, and drop the knife. The itch was overcoming my whole mind now. 1. I feel the heart pounding like a drum right in my ears, my bones starting to crunch and snap, my muscles swelling, skin stretching, spine curving to better suit a 4-legged beast. 2. My voice is more of a growl, my feet and hands turning into something between human hand and large paw, my fingernails forced off my hands by emerging claws. My teeth are pushed out of my head by wicked sharp fangs, while my face stretches out like leather into a muzzle. My clothes tear at the seams and bulge out as thick, shaggy black fur covers my body. My prey, terrified beyond belief, have decided to play along. They sprint off into the night, desperately screaming against their gags. The smell of their fear eggs me on, and as the full moon peeks its silvery glow out from between the clouds and the pines, I speak the last word I'll speak until tomorrow. 3. I let out a loud, haunting howl, signaling that this is my territory and the hunt has begun. I chase them, locked onto the scent of fear and blood, my muscles celebrating the ecstasy of their strength. My claws rake into the back of the man, teeth sinking into his neck. I know I will dream of blood this night. It's the only thing worth remembering. The blood and the kill. Villager superstitions won't stop us from having a romantic moonlit picnic, will it, my love? After all, there's little in these woods to be afraid of. A special thank you to all my patrons on Patreon for helping me make more content. You guys are amazing. Patrons enjoy seeing videos early and completely ad-free, they get to vote in polls for future video topics, and they get access to my monthly Monsters PDF, in which I release a new monster every month for them to put into their games. If that sounds like a good deal to you, then consider becoming a patron today. And as always, a thank you to everyone for watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment down below, all the things to please the YouTube gods. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!